Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jenna and my son Liam is over here sleeping, but today I'm going to be doing the controversial parenting tag. I've seen this tag going around quite a bit, and so I did decide to give it a try. So first one I have written down is pro-life or pro-choice. So me personally, I am neither one to say, neither side. Me personally, I would never get an abortion, but if somebody else does, that's your decision, and if that is what's best for you, that's what's best for your situation. By all means, get an abortion and do what is best for you. That's what matters. But the one thing that bothers me about abortions is a lot of people have the mindset that, well, if I get pregnant, I can just go get an abortion, which is not how that should work. I mean, they have so many types of birth control that you can take. You can get a shot, you can get the pill. There's so many different types of things. They have protection. You can use condoms. There's so many ways to prevent getting pregnant. If right now in your life is not the time to have a baby, do not just say, well, if I get pregnant, I'm able to go get an abortion, because that's wrong. And you should take precautions before you get pregnant. And I know sometimes birth control doesn't work, and that's what I mean by depending on your situation. So it's not like everyone, it's just some people kind of abuse the fact that abortion is available. Next one is public breastfeeding. So a lot of people have an issue with moms breastfeeding in public, which really bothers me because women have been breastfeeding for thousands and thousands of years. So for somebody to go ask a mom in public, hey, can you please go to the bathroom? Can you cover up? Can you do this somewhere else? Like, that really bothers me, because she's feeding her child. That's what she's supposed to be doing. And it's so natural for mom to be breastfeeding. You eat in public, everybody eats in public. So to ask her mom to go feed her child somewhere else to cover up is so wrong, and it's not fair to the mom or the baby. In all 50 states, a mom has the right to breastfeed in public, whether or not she is covered up or not. But if you have an issue with someone breastfeeding in public, that's not the mom's problem, that is your problem. It's a personal issue. The mom is doing what she has to do, and so you kind of have to deal with that. So it really bothers me when a mom is asked to leave somewhere for breastfeeding. That bothers me really so much, and it's so wrong. So the next one is circumcision. So I do know a lot of people are strongly against circumcision. They do not agree with it. They think it is so wrong that you should give your child the choice of being circumcised or not. Well, I know a lot of you might get mad, but I did get my son circumcised. That is what me and his dad decided to do. Even if you don't agree with what I decided, that is what I personally decided to do for my son. And I know a lot of people think it's wrong, and I understand that, but that is what I did decide to do. Next one is breast milk or formula feeding. So I do breastfeed my son, but formula is also a great option for moms who aren't able to breastfeed, or for any reason that you need to use formula. But for myself, I breastfeed. I feel like that is the healthiest thing for my son, and that's what I want to do. When I go back to work, I am going to be pumping while I'm at work to make sure that he has breast milk, so that he doesn't have to be given formula, because I want him to be solely fed with breast milk. And so I already have some milk stored up, so when I go back to work, he's going to have milk, and I'm going to be pumping while I'm at work. I pump when I have free time to build a supply that I have at home for him if I'm not here and he needs a bottle. Next one I have written down, goes to the last one, is how long you should breastfeed for. So a lot of people believe you should stop breastfeeding around 6 months to a year old. I do not agree with that, and I do plan to breastfeed my son until he's about 2. If I am capable, if my body's capable, and I'm so producing milk, that's what I want to do. I want to breastfeed him until he is 2 years old, or at least 15 months. That is my goal. That's what I want to do, and that's what I feel is best for me and my son. This one is spanking. I do not believe in spanking. I think spanking is wrong. My parents did spank me and my sisters when we were little. I don't think spanking accomplishes anything. I think it's really cruel, and if you spank your child, nothing against you, but for me, I don't think spanking your child is really getting the point across, not to do whatever they just did. You're basically telling them no, and then you're hitting them, which in their mind is okay, well, hitting's okay, because you hit me when I get in trouble, but hitting's not okay. You don't want to teach your kid that hitting is okay. But personally, I see no reason, no thing comes from spanking that is good. Nothing that I see changes anything. It just might make it worse. So I do not agree with spanking. Co-sleeping. So my parents are so against this, but I do like to co-sleep with him. He likes co-sleeping. He loves sleeping with me. And I do try not to have him sleep in my bed because my parents are not okay with it. And I know they're just concerned for his safety and about him, which I understand. And so I do try my best to have him sleep in his crib just because that's what my parents are more comfortable with, and so I want to respect that. And so if he's not sleeping with me, which I try to have him sleep in his crib as much as possible, his crib is still in my room, so it is right next to my bed, whether or not he's in my bed, the pack and play, or his crib. He is always in my room. He's not in another room, so if I have to change him, I can just grab him if he starts crying. If he gets hungry, he's right there for me to get him and feed him or change his diaper or whatever I need to do. So I do think it's a good thing if you take the right steps to co-sleep. If you are careful, I am a really light sleeper. I will wake up the drop of a pen, so I wake up incredibly easy. So this next one is private school, homeschool, or public school. I personally do not think one is better than the other one. I do not say, well, you should go to private school because it's better, or you should be homeschooled, or whatever. I think it all depends on you and what you feel is best. Incredibly easy. So this next one is private school, homeschool, or public school. I personally do not think one is better than the other one. I do not say, well, you should go to private school because it's better, or you should be homeschooled, or whatever. I think it all depends on you and what you feel is best for your child, what you want to do with your child. I personally am going to put Liam in public school unless he says, hey mom, I don't want to be in public school anymore. Can we look at the other options? Then if that ever happens, we'll cross that road then, and we're looking to homeschooling in public school. But if he's okay in public school, if he likes public school, that is perfectly okay with me. I'm going to put him in public school unless he asks me to put him in private school or do homeschool. And I'll let him make that choice later in life if he dislikes public school. But until he says something, he will be in public school. Okay, so this one really bothers me. This one is vaccines. I do get my son his vaccines. He is vaccinated. He gets his vaccines when he's due for vaccines. And I think they're such a blessing. They're such a great thing. And we are so incredibly lucky to have vaccines and be able to prevent such awful diseases and save our child's life and keep them from getting these awful things and keeping them from having to go through that. And so to me, I think it is incredibly selfish of somebody not to get their child their vaccines, especially if you're saying, I'm not getting my child vaccines because it causes autism. Like, that just blows my mind. Like, that is incredibly selfish for you to rather have your child get a deadly disease than have autism. Like, I just can't understand why someone has that mindset. Like, that is so incredibly wrong. And that, my mind, like, I don't care what you say, that is so beyond selfish. If a parent doesn't want to get their kid vaccinated because they think they have autism, like, I can't understand why somebody would ever say that. Like, and it's incredibly wrong and it's incredibly selfish. And I don't care if you think what I'm saying is rude or harsh. It's the honest truth, or at least that's what I believe. And I think it's wrong. I really do think it's wrong. And if somebody has another reason for not wanting their child to get vaccines, that's okay. And I'm not going to say anything. But if you personally just don't want them to get vaccines because you don't want them to have autism, that's where I have the issue. That's what bothers me, because I have seen so many parents say that's why they don't get their kids vaccinated, because they don't want them to have autism. And that just bothers me so incredibly much. Like, I don't understand what kind of parent would ever say that. But so the next one is the cry out method. I do not believe in this. I feel like if your child is crying, you should go get your child, you should love them, you should nurture them, and you should calm them down. I am never going to just leave my son crying in his swing, in his crib, and just ignore him and just let him go to sleep and stop crying on his own. I'm never going to do that. I think that is wrong. And it might work for you, that might be what is best for you, but that is not what's best for me, and I don't like it. So he cries, I will go get him, and I will figure out if he needs his diaper changed, if he needs to be fed, if he just wants to be held. That's fine with me. Whatever the reason is he's crying, I'm going to fix that reason and stop him from crying. And I'm going to love him and nurture him just like I'm supposed to do. And a lot of people say that's spoiling your child. I personally do not think you can spoil a baby. There's no way. They need to be shown love. They need to know they can trust you. And so if you leave them when they're crying, they're just like, okay, well, they're not going to come back for me. And so I want him to know whenever he needs me, I'm going to be there for him. If that means getting him the second he starts crying, I'm going to do that, because I want him to know I'm there for him and I'll always be there for him. Even if he's just a tiny baby, it's still, I just want him to know that I will always be there for him. This next one I have is natural birth or medicated birth. So I don't think there's much difference between either one. I personally did not want an epidural. I didn't care about having a natural birth or medicated birth. I was just absolutely terrified of getting an epidural. It wasn't the fact that I wanted to be having a natural birth, no medication. That was not the reason. It's just because I am a big baby and I'm scared of needles. And I did get the epidural. I did not have a natural birth. I ended up getting an epidural. I was induced. My contractions were really awful. And even though I did get the epidural, I was still in a lot of pain. But that usually does not happen. But so, I did get an epidural. But there's no difference if you have a natural birth, if you do not. Contractions are awful, and no matter what, you're still pushing a baby out of you, and that takes so much for somebody to be able to do. So if you need medicine, then get the epidural and do what's best for you so you can enjoy having your baby. So this last one I'm going to do is cloth diapers or disposable diapers. I personally do use the disposable diapers. I know a lot of people prefer to use cloth diapers because it is better for the environment. I do think it is better for the environment for cloth diapers, and it's just a struggle for me. It'd be too hard trying to use cloth diapers. And so for anybody who uses cloth diapers, good job. Hold on. So for anybody who does use cloth diapers, that is so great for you, and I'm so proud of you, but that is just not something that's easy for me to do. But so this is going to be the end of this video. Oh, what's wrong? Hi. Bye bye. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel.